Hey y'all, welcome back, or welcome for the first time, doesn't matter. I'm just glad you're here. My name is Britt, as in BrittReacts, and today we're going to react to more of Lefties Losing It in my worst Australian accent. This is Macron cops double-handed slap from Brigitte, and you know I had to talk about it. Let's see what they have to say. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button.
But it's time for Lefties Losing It, and the ladies of The View have become so toxic, so unlikable and full of bile that even the woke warriors at ABC and parent company Disney are telling them to tone down their political commentary, to just rethink the constant anti-Trump hate and hysteria, to perhaps, I don't know, stick to the facts so they don't have to issue so many corrections and apologies. But sadly, these ladies will not be told. They are going to keep up the lies and hate. Here is Whoopi Goldberg lying about Donald Trump again, firstly claiming Memorial Day was the first time Trump has said anything positive about Gold Star families.
It was about time we heard him give the Gold Star families their due. It was about time he did that, because he spoke and said we are proud of our Gold Star families. This is the first time, at least maybe, unless you've heard him do it.
No, he's hosted them at the White House in his first term.
Right, but the last time we collectively heard him talking about Gold Star families, it was not positive.
It was only last September when these hysterical harpies were criticising Donald Trump for visiting Arlington National Cemetery with Gold Star families. The left said that was politicising Arlington. And let's not forget the Gold Star families that endorsed Donald Trump at the Republican National Convention. But that's apparently the first time he has mentioned them or said anything positive, according to Whoopi. Now let's hear from Misery Guts Joy Behar, who wonders why the Commander-in-Chief is even speaking at West Point. Then she claims
her shade is so like professionally presented that it's like it's giving me whiplash. Okay, yeah, I think it's just time to either see The View go or totally rebrand. We've got to stop allowing these women to emotionally charge everything. Like, everything comes from an emotional place. Nothing is coming from like a professional, factual place. And even when her co-host goes to correct her or debunk her, she's like, girl, shut up. Doesn't matter. And it's just like, we're watching it happen. And I don't care what side you're on. Like, right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you're reporting wrong information and you're spreading it around, you need to be corrected. And the like arrogance and conviction in which these women speak with, like, to be so loud and so wrong is so crazy to me. It's so crazy to me. I haven't had breakfast yet, but I'm eating a white chocolate Kit Kat. Judge your mama.
wonders why the Commander-in-Chief is even speaking at West Point. Then she claims that Donald Trump is walking into walls.
So why would they invite him to speak at West Point? And wearing the hat was a political move also. That shows you that
the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed
The hat
Forces.
is politics. It's not about anything but that. So he's supposed to be not political at West Point or Arlington Cemetery, and there he is being political and rambling. Jake Tapper needs to do another book. Because he was rambling, he's running around. I see pictures of him walking into walls.
And if you think she's miserable and delusional, let's hear from Anna Navarro, who is only happy when she's out of the country and away from Trump. You know what, Anna? You can always stay out. Perhaps you could join Rosie in Ireland.
I was out of the country, and for 5 blissful days, I didn't hear his voice. I had no cell service and I had no TV. But then I come in and I watch a clip like this one, up to your point of what you were just talking. Can we see the clip?
Yeah.
As a linguist, translator, and cryptologic technician.
What?
Right. I mean, if Joe Biden said that, right, we'd be talking about his cognitive skills and cognitive decline for days. But
why does the media avoid it with him? Tell me.
Yes, Donald Trump mispronouncing one difficult word means he's Joe Biden now, who routinely spoke incoherent sentences, who struggled to deliver the simplest lines of an auto cue. These ladies are really clutching at straws, and this is after they've been told to dial back their lefty lunacy. Now, Whoopi not only had a go at Donald Trump, defamed Donald Trump, she also attacked J.D. Vance and Pete Hegseth, men who risk their lives serving their country.
Pete Hegseth knows better. He knows what it's like to be a service person. Vice President Vance knows. He knows how hard it was, because I'm sure one of the reasons he went there is to elevate his life. He comes from very, very poor people. Yeah. And the fact that you don't stand up and say, you can't do this to these folks. I've worked with them. I know what they go through. Instead,
she's so passionate
we get this kind of...
She was so enraged, she couldn't even finish that sentence. You know, the way these hysterical harpies are carrying on, you think there was a crisis in the military. Instead, the opposite is true. Morale is finally high after years of degradation. And the evidence of that is in the recruitment numbers, which have surged to new highs. They surged to record numbers after Donald Trump's election triumph back in November and have stayed high ever since. But facts and figures are abhorrent to the ladies of The View. Let's end our little View catch-up with Joy Behar, who left her phone on during filming, so very professional there, Joy. And listen to her say that she would rather die than be saved by a Trump supporter.
I wouldn't even let him give me a Heimlich maneuver. Yeah. That's how little I feel about people. I don't know.
Well, and a MAGA supporter is like
calling you right now. Somebody's...
She had to turn it
Now
on.
let's check in with someone who seems to
That was such a like me with my grandmother moment. Okay, so explain to me how they are viewing the Arlington situation as disrespectful, the hat and all those things. Just explain it to me, if you can figure it out. Explain it to me. Thank you.
be auditioning for The View. Actress Kira Sedwick, she's married to Kevin Bacon, in case you're interested. Well, she seems to think that women in America are about to lose their right to vote.
Wondering how you're feeling about the state of our union. Finding myself pretty scared about a lot of things, scared about losing my rights as a woman, scared about losing my right to vote as a woman, scared about losing autonomy over my body as a woman.
I would have thought her abortion days were behind her, but maybe I'm wrong. And in any case, you can get even late-term abortions in most blue states, most blue cities. But let's listen to more of this Hollywood star's unfounded fears.
Scared of my parents' Social Security checks, scared of food banks running out of food and not being able to replenish because they're no longer getting federal funding.
She really is part of the AWFUL phenomenon. AWFUL standing for AWFL, Affluent White Female Lefties. Let's check in on a AWFUL, well, AWF Latino, Jennifer Lopez, still works. She raised a few eyebrows with this performance. And she was pretty happy with herself afterwards.
There were little spicy moments in there.
There are little spicy moments in there. I hear the kisses are going viral. Yeah.
No doubt.
You know, Madonna and Britt.
I just like, are we still doing this? 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 Like, it's not even scandalous anymore. It's just like, are we still doing this? I didn't watch the AMA, so I have no idea what went on. That was the first time seeing it. I think my position on this is no matter if you agree with it or not, a lot of people feel that way. And a lot of people are on social media expressing their concerns, a la Kevin Bacon's wife, because I don't know who she is. And so I think perhaps rather than like shaming these people or calling them out, we need to shouldn't we all be trying to figure out how to like get us all on the same page rather than shaming each other for feeling how we feel? Whether you agree with her or not, she represents a group of people that are also announcing their fears on the worldwide internet for people to listen to. And I think instead of, I don't know, wagging our finger and telling them how crazy we are. We need to be working on trying to get everyone on the same page. I don't know. These are just my like fantasies, my like very jaded and hopeful ways of thinking. But that's just me.
And you did that like 20 years ago. It's a bit lame these days.
Yeah, it's like so lame.
But the kisses going viral is one thing. Something else that's going viral are questions about why J-Lo was so keen to warn America about the dangers of Donald Trump. Remember this?
He has consistently worked to divide us. At Madison Square Garden, he reminded us who he really is and how he really feels. It wasn't just Puerto Ricans that were offended that day, okay? It was every Latino in this country. It was humanity and anyone of decent character.
Decent character, she says. Yeah, she was very keen to warn America about Donald Trump, but she's P. Diddy's former girlfriend. Why didn't she warn the world about him? Didn't warn all the potential future victims about what sort of man he was and what sort of antics.
I don't know why I didn't see us walking into this one. I've seen this conversation about why J-Lo is not involved. Well, one, if we remember, J-Lo was involved in that big case, that criminal case back in the 90s, and she was involved in that. Two, I don't think J-Lo has, if you look at the pattern of who the people coming forward to have been victimized by Diddy in this new case, J-Lo had her own team of people. J-Lo had her own fame. J-Lo did not depend on him for things, and therefore I don't know if I think, and I could be so wrong, that he abused her. I'm sure she saw some things, but I don't know if she saw it to the level of what everyone else saw, because she didn't need him the way everyone else needed him. All these people coming out and, you know, the NDAs and yada yada, these are people who were employed by him, who needed him for their career. And so I don't know, I should have seen this coming, but in terms of J-Lo, I think maybe she got away before either it got too bad, or maybe he just didn't treat her that way because he knew if he treated her that way, it would get out. But again, I'm just a girl, and that's just my thoughts. Doesn't mean I'm right.
Potential future victims about what sort of man he was and what sort of antics he got up to. We've all seen the hotel tape. Now here is a world leader losing it, or at least his partner Brigitte. Here's Brigitte double slapping the French president.
That's a mush, that's not a slap.
Let's have a closer look at that in slow motion, please.
It's not a slap, she mushed him with two hands. Oh, that's so embarrassing.
That looked like a slap to me, a double hand.
Guys, that's not a slap. A slap is this, and she mushed him. It's called a mush. I want everyone to know. I know it. I love a good mush. I think it's like, they're just like memes of people mushing other people. It's like funny to me. I used to mush my little brothers all the time. I'm like, get out of here. It was a mush. It wasn't a slap. Doesn't mean it's right. I'm not validating it in any way. I don't know the cause behind it, but if you missed it, I did react to a couple of episodes of Candace Owens kind of unveiling, pulling the veil back on the speculation that Brigitte is trans. And so as soon as this popped up, I was like, oh no, this is not good. But when doing my own kind of research in comment sections and things, no one brought that up. So it makes me feel like not a lot of people in the States know about that accusation, and that this was just like, why would she do that? What was going on? Yada, yada, yada. And it was clear that that was meant to be a private moment. It was clear she didn't realize that all eyes were on him. Perhaps she didn't realize it happened in the view of the open door of the plane. But it's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing to watch. And, you know, couple squabble. It doesn't matter. Couple squabble doesn't mean you should put your hands on people, but I think that was meant to be a private moment. But that girl took two hands and mushed him. You cannot tell me that was a playful moment, because I think that's the way he tried to spin it, is that they were playing. It was like he wasn't smiling. Those two hands were not happy. But again, I'm just a girl, and that's just my opinion.
That looked like a slap to me, a double-handed one, but the French president claims otherwise.
Je vais dire une vidéo beaucoup de bêtises. Sur ces 3 vidéos, j'ai ramassé un Kleenex, serré la main à quelqu'un et juste plaisanté avec mon épouse comme on le fait assez souvent.
I don't know if it looks like a backhander and feels like a backhander. It's probably a backhander, Emmanuel. Now let's
pushed him.
hear from
That's wrong.
60 Minutes anchor Scott Pelley, who happily pushed the Russian collusion hoax and was an active participant in covering up Joe Biden's cognitive decline and the dodgy business dealings of the Biden family. Remember 60 Minutes claiming the laptop was Russian disinformation? Well, old Scott gave a commencement speech at Wake Forest University recently, and it was a hot mess. Listen to this unhinged anti-Trump hyperbole.
Our sacred rule of law is under attack. Journalism is under attack. Universities are under attack. Freedom of speech is under attack. And insidious fear is reaching through our schools, our businesses, our homes, and into our private thoughts.
No one behind him looks like they agree.
The fear to speak in America.
Joining me now is Newsweek's senior editor-at-large and Article 3 Project Senior Counsel Josh Hammer. Josh, that entire rant, and it went on for some time, was unhinged, and some of these self-delighted media veterans seem utterly shameless. No self-reflection at all, no insight into why so many in the leftist media are loathed and mistrusted.
You know, the funniest part of that clip that we just heard, Rita, from Scott Pelley, is talking about how, you know, they're reaching inside of inside of your mind, into your own private thoughts. I mean, there's a saying that some of my friends and I have said over the years, which is this notion of living inside someone else's head rent-free. And I hear that clip from Scott Pelley there, and my very first thought is, wow, Donald Trump is literally living in Scott Pelley's head rent-free. I mean, that is the case for Scott Pelley. That is the case for so many in the left-wing corporate media. But your point is the more salient one, which is, my goodness gracious, these people have learned precisely zero lessons, have they? I mean, Pew, Gallup, all the major public opinion pollsters here in the United States, they say that the American media's approval ratings, their favorability ratings, are on a similar level as venereal disease. And you would think that people like Scott Pelley would have a modicum of self-reflection to be able to think, my goodness gracious, what have we done to get to a point where somewhere between a fifth and a third at the very most of the American people actually view us with something remotely approximating decency and respect there. But no, they rather just go to their Tony Ivory Tower universities, Wake Forest. I know it very well. I've been there many times. Pretty campus there, but apparently they're not very good at bringing in sophisticated commencement speakers, it seems.
Ooh, that was a mouthful at the end. All right. Lefties losing it, they say. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. As always, keep it cute, put it on mute. Your opinions are valid, and I love to hear them all, even if I disagree. I don't like to hear and read unkindness. So keep it kind and go and have the day you deserve. Bye.